What's up, Banana Bunch? It's time for the Jungle Gyms podcast. I'm your host, Mark. Welcome to the show. Look, short intro this week. This is a really big guest for us. We love Gianmarco. I'm really excited about this. Realistically, I'm here just to say, if you have not watched the first part of this episode where we shop the store to get all these items, go ahead and pause this video right now and go watch that first and then come back in here. And in the meantime, let's just dive right in, right? So, Gianmarco, how is that objectively average-sized banana? That is, I believe that one's the Honduran baby banana. Slightly different, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm really bad at describing taste.
That's good. You don't have to.
But, like, I don't even know what to say. It's not as sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It's more, feels like a more savory, like, meat. Like, if the banana had more protein in it, I would imagine it would be this.
The texture is way different. It's like a little closer to plantain.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I like it, though. It is still sweet. Also, welcome to the show, Gianmarco.
Hello.
I just wanted to start with us shoving bananas in her. These aggressively large bananas.
And this one is which one?
I believe that one's from Thailand. So, folks, we're just trying food from all over, baby.
See, but I can't tell, like, oh, is this Thailand banana or is this just not fully ripe? How will I know?
That's a good point, too. I would say that probably some of the coloration will hopefully help, because I feel like these small ones, we had done a thing on this a while back, the small ones ripen similar to the way that you would expect from most.
Sure.
Which I think actually a lot of the U.S. bananas also come from Honduras.
Oh, yeah?
But these are a different breed regardless. So they're like the baby bananas, and you have like the Thai baby banana.
Let me see the red banana, because that's the
red
one.
banana's floating around here too, right? Yeah. I don't know what these are supposed to taste like, actually.
See, they're hard, so who knows?
Right, I keep thinking I got to peel it like a gorilla from the bottom.
Is that how you do it?
I think so, but then I think I'm not as strong as a gorilla, it turns out. Oh, you got it that way. You work here?
I could become, you have a cheese sommelier, I could just become a banana.
Yeah, you could be Cheese Gianmarco after this.
I don't know how you get good at cheese, though, because how much cheese can you eat on a daily basis without being ill?
Oh, dude, I can't even imagine. I've gone to a couple food shows this year, though, like that. And it's like, yeah, you're sweating like an hour in. You're like, oh, right, I've had more Gouda than any person should. This is unique.
This is good. I like this.
Yeah.
Now, weed's not legal here.
Weed is legal in Ohio.
It is? Mm-hmm. So where's the weed section?
So
I feel like that could be the biggest.
Man, that's a little secret I'm working on in the background, but we have like a whole THC soda section now.
Oh, my God, really?
Have you ever tried any of those?
I've had, I think in them somewhere once in a while.
Here, let me give you something while we're here in the meantime.
Sure. Oh my God.
Yeah, these samples all just came in.
So weed, how long has weed been legal in Ohio?
Months.
Really?
Yeah.
And we're already going to sodas?
Yeah. So
holy
the
shit.
trick with these, I think they're still using Delta 9 in the sodas. So I think that's the loophole.
Oh, I see.
But like real weed is like, we opened recreational dispensaries relatively recently.
Okay.
This is a personal favorite brand of mine. This is a brand called Costallo. They're a local. They're a brewery here in town. They do.
Okay.
They call them Midwest fruit tarts, but like sour beers.
Sure.
Really unique, all fresh ingredients, all real, very like high quality stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they just launched that iced tea as one of their new flavors. They're about to launch a Christmas cookie one soon. And then the other one I've got here, this is from a brand called Levity, and they just started. Theirs are all, they have, if you would like, I'll send you with a bottle of their spirits too, but they make cannabis spirits. So it's like booze, but it's like, the Levity's whole thing is that it's closer to actual cocktails. So they have like a knockoff Tom Collins. There's like a Canarita and that kind of thing. But I mean, feel free to dive into those at any time.
Sure.
We've got a weed episode coming out soon.
Oh, yeah?
Well, now that you came, yours is going out before that. But yeah, it's going to be
That'll
great.
be fun.
Super cool. I'm like, I just am excited. I work for a place where I'm like, I got high at Jungle Gyms and I get to keep my job.
This is the perfect place to get high.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, for sure. You imagine? What do you feel like trying today?
I mean,
we've gone through the bananas. I think the red banana is my favorite of the bunch so far.
I think red banana for sure.
Is this how you thought comedy would go for you?
I was hoping.
Listen, I know the key to traveling entertainers' hearts. I'm like, I'll feed you. Please just show up.
Yeah, for sure. It was an easy yes. Let's see. Let's do. What about these chips? These eggs.
Do you want to do the egg ones? I think
it's hard to know. I've never eaten this smorgasbord. I don't know what order to eat anything in.
It's this
but
problem
let's just go in.
These are so weird. I don't even know how to describe it. So this company is called Torres. I'll just tear it open. And so people can be mad in the comments. Like, how can
You should
share a
make
bag
the
like
whole
that?
ASMR out of this show. I think you probably could. Like,
Yeah. Today we're trying.
Is that still a thing? People still doing that?
Probably, honestly.
Oh, wow. That is eggy.
It's so weird. Let me blow your mind. You know what one ingredient is not in those chips?
No eggs?
No eggs, dude. I think that's so weird.
Really?
But they taste, I mean, that tastes exactly like a fried egg to me every time.
It does. It's surreal.
Yeah.
That's like pumpkin spice. Doesn't have any pumpkin in it.
Right.
Wow.
So I'm usually more on the team of, I feel like after this we'll go to Asia. Oh, wow, that one opened. I also brought us, these are wasabi octopus chips.
Uh-huh.
So,
I like
haven't tried this
wasabi.
one.
Octopus is kind of tough because of the texture for me.
For sure. So hopefully frying it into a potato will go well.
Does this have an actual octopus?
You know, I'd guess probably not. I bet it's like imitation octopus flavor.
I taste the wasabi pretty well. It's definitely good. Octopus, I don't really even know what octopus tastes like because I'm always, the texture overtakes it.
For sure.
But it's good.
You know what that tastes like to me?
What?
It tastes like you put wasabi in Chef Boyardee sauce. That is 100% the flavor I'm getting right now.
I get that.
That's so weird. I'm like, I kind of want to keep eating it, though. It's one of the better ones on the table so far.
I really dig that. I don't know if I even like the egg chips. It's more just surreal that you can capture an egg like that. Like, it's almost too eggy.
Right. Well, this whole line from Torres is really interesting. So they're from Spain. They have, I think they fry a lot of the chips in olive oil, which kind of makes some of them really delicate and interesting in texture.
Uh-huh.
But it's like 50% that, 50% unique flavors. Like there's a black truffle out there. They've one that's sparkling wine that is so hit or miss. To me, it tastes like you ate everything at the worst wedding buffet all at once. But some people are like, these go crazy.
These are corn snacks.
Yes, pretty sure it's Karamucha. I think that was a Korean pickup, but I'll double check. It might be Japan. Oh, no, that was Japan. Yeah, so spicy curry. How do you feel? Spicy?
I mean, no, it's not spicy to me, but
Yeah. I feel like I'm always excited when I see spicy on the Asian bags because I know it should be hotter than the American spices. And then a lot of times you'll eat it and you're like, that's not even on the scale.
Yeah, they really oversell that spice.
Yeah, that's like spicy, I don't know, to who? They do taste pretty good, though. It's like Cheetos.
Yeah. So now you have full range. What happens if you shit talk a product and they go, what the hell?
No one's been that mad. Yeah, actually, I've only had one brand get mad at me, and it was this week.
What happened?
It's a gluten-free brand. I'll tell you who afterwards, but they were actually just more weird about the podcast, where they're just like, well, they sent me a script of what they wanted the show to go like.
You had to be like, that's the greatest.
Literally, I'll show you the script. It's like so fun. It's like, oh, and you know, a lot of them are questions I would ask a guest, right? You know, like, how'd your company start? Why were you so fired up about making these gluten-free goods or whatever? And I'll probably still ultimately do the show. Don't get me wrong, but I was just like, this reads like sponsored content. I don't want to do it that way. The whole reason the show works is that like they've given me the freedom to be honest, right? And so for the most part, I'll be like, I don't like it. I won't be like, this is a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't flipped the table yet. So for the most part, it's been okay. But they were very funny, and then canceled the interview.
Wow.
Yeah, it was I thought the whole thing. And I'm sure this is just a silly communication thing, all jokes aside. But man, it was crazy. I'm like, you know, the email came in at like 6 a.m. I'm like, I didn't have enough of my brain at that one moment when I woke up to the buzz of that email. Like, I was like, listen here, dude, that's not how we do it. I think I probably clapped back a little too hard. But yeah, for the most part, everybody's been cool. And then every so often you get a brand that's like, let me challenge you with a different product for ours, and maybe that will sell you.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. We got some spoons and forks, too. If you like, I'll pull them out of the cups just in case. Let's see. I'll pour a little drink in the meantime. What do you think goes with olives?
I don't know at all. I don't know if anything goes with olives, but
I think
I'm
that's gonna
down.
be the problem. You know what? I'll get a little booze in you first. Why don't you try a little soju?
Let's do it. So I had these olives. They were good.
Are those the Castle Vetrano, right?
Yeah, Castle Vetrano.
Hot winners. What are the black ones you tried there?
Moroccan olives.
Ooh.
I don't know if I've ever had these.
I don't know how strong these are, so we'll find out the hard way probably. Start small, we'll work our way up. Here you are, sir.
And we're going to do olives, I think. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we should
do some of these because so one of the turkeys was Pistachio?
Yes. So there's no, the salami was pistachio. One of the
Okay.
turkey is one is like a traditional. She said it was like a I forget what you call it, oven roast, but it's like a Thanksgiving turkey breast. And then the other one is like a bacon wrapped one that they do.
Okay.
Ooh, the melon smells good, by the way.
It does.
It smells like Japanese melon candy, you know?
It's good. Very sweet.
Yeah.
High school, that would have
Exactly.
been
Like I said, every
hardcore.
time, like 17 years old, I would have ruined my life. I would not have a job right now, probably. Or
That's the thing, kids. Don't drink now, and maybe later you can drink at your job. That's how you have to pitch it.
It is true. I mean, literally, I was just thinking the other day, we had a company come in, and they're like, we brought in all these new, they're like a old steakhouse, and they had all these sauces, and they're like, we brought these cocktails too. Is it okay if we drink? I'm like, yeah. Thankfully, I didn't develop that problem. For the problem is what's on the table. That's the addiction I couldn't kick.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh yeah, now you're paying me to do it. Cool.
I
got 5 more years in me.
I get that.
Dude, Gianmarco, how long have you been doing comedy?
God, it always. Sometimes you undersell yourself to sound more impressive, and then you over. I'm really right in the middle there. So like 10 years.
Cool.
10 years is pretty accurate.
That's awesome. What's the inaccurate number?
Inaccurate, I'd be like, I started a couple months ago, and I just had a knack for it. I don't even know.
Do you ever find comedians that do have that skill though, where you're just like, wow, this is like a weirdly natural gift that you've shown up?
They might have like. You'll see comedians who have like an incredible 5 minutes or an incredible 10 minutes, but if they haven't put in the time, you see it real fast.
Sure.
Building new material is so hard.
Yeah.
And this is why almost every comedian gets worse as they get older. It's just you don't have as much time.
Sure.
You're doing press, you're doing movies, you're doing TV shows, and like no one on the professional side of things is ever going to fully appreciate how long it takes to.
Right.
Like I have chunks that I started 5 years ago, and they've had 5 years to mature, and I thought I finished them, and then I let them go, and then I came back. I was like, no, they could be better. And like you just don't even really understand how it can go. So there are some Wunder kids out there.
Of course.
Maybe they have a great Tonight Show set, but
Yeah.
I've never seen someone just come in and everything's constantly good.
Wow, you're like, you just crushed a 45-minute headliner.
I think the best is like you have someone with a crazy, unique life experience, and they give you everything comes from a perspective that's so unique that you're really interested in it.
Yeah.
But like as terms of like killer material,
Right.
it's the same reason like Eddie Murphy was supposed to. I think he was paid $70 million for another special with Netflix.
Yeah.
And like he'll never. First of all, it's not happening.
Right.
But it's like it makes sense. First of all, how could Eddie Murphy grind it out in the clubs? How could he perform for people that aren't like ecstatic to just see him?
Yeah.
So he can't really test it. And it's so hard.
That's a great point too. Because like I can't even imagine trying to hide from the people to actually see what a room, right? Because
At that level, I mean, Eddie Murphy's you couldn't be any higher.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, I just don't. And there seems to be a thing. Obviously, people have writers, so they have people that come out.
Sure.
But stand up is really. It's what I like about the art form is I don't think it's easy to write for someone. Something about it organically being developed from your own brain. Really, you can feel it. You can feel the difference.
I think you nailed it with it being a unique perspective game, right? Because like every comedian I'll ever see my whole life, at least the good ones, are going to be someone who's like, here's something that, you know what I mean? Like this is experience only I had, right? You know, it's why all of my material's about cleaning airplane bathrooms.
Sure,
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I don't know anyone else that did that job. But God, that would be terrible. That's an area I'll mine later. But what's your writing process like now?
It's pretty chaotic. I just have.
Love that.
I mean, I really feel like I just collect my thoughts throughout the day.
Yeah.
And I just it's not very simple because it's just like I'll put it in this notes app and then I'll put it in my Word document and I'll maybe think of one line and then maybe I'll talk it out on stage. Or I have a friend sometimes who I call and I just kind of say jokes and I just listen. They're a good laugher, so I can see if there's anything there.
Sure.
And the Word document is way too long and it's so sometimes I'm like, well, I have a 150-page document to look at every night before my headlining set and I can only do so many.
Yeah.
But it really is just everything. I rarely sit down and go like, all right, I need to write jokes about food. It really is just thoughts that come throughout the day and I'm like a butterfly catcher and I just catch them.
Love it.
And 95% of the time they're shit or there's nothing there.
Sure.
And especially when I get stoned, it's not that I think I'm necessarily funnier than when I'm stoned, but I think things are funnier to me when I'm stoned, so I just notice them more.
Sure.
As my mind's racing around, I go, oh wait, that's a little funny.
Yeah.
And then again, most of it is not good sober.
Right.
But if 5% is, that's plenty.
Yeah. That ends up in reels. You know? Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Which turkey have you done both turkeys now?
Yes. So this is definitely the bacon one.
Oh, okay. The marinated mozzarella, that goes real crazy.
Perfect.
What's it we got here? You got a little bit of everything in here, though.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good, right?
Oh, that's so good.
That's made in-house, too, apparently.
Really?
Yeah. We used to have, like, a much larger mozzarella production thing going on. Like, we literally had a lady who I think recently just left the company. But, like, COVID killed a lot of cheese-related things, it turns out.
Really?
And I met them in the middle of COVID. So I missed all of the the early years fun. You know, I'm here now. They're like, oh, you'd never believe what it was like back then. I'm like, can we do it now? Like, I'm down, dude. Like, I bathed in chili in here. Like, I'll do some weird shit. But she was, like, hand pulling the matzah in store. And then I'm sure it's like a combo of being a little cost prohibitive. Oh shit, the bacon turkey is pretty good.
Yeah. I feel like the store is so big, like everything's like, oh, well, we used to have this. Well, now we have this. Like, it's always like, you've missed something, but something cool is here.
We broke 200,000 SKUs somewhat recently, as I was told. I always say it that way in case somebody gave me the wrong info. Mm-hmm. But it's crazy to think about, and it is one of those places where like the stuff we walked by today might be different if we walked by at 6 o'clock.
Sure,
like it's just like that. It's so crazy. You never know, especially with the international products because they're coming in from everywhere. You know, so much of it got locked up at ports for a long time, and then now is just kind of trickling in. So wild to see.
It's so good.
Yeah, the mozzarella, I was like, oh. But you said the Olive Bar was a long time self-service thing, and then now it's all packaged like this too. But still
I guess
cool.
A lot of self-service is probably gone after COVID.
Yeah, exactly. You can't try. I mean, you really couldn't trust people before to not sneeze in your shit.
I mean, it always was. I'm not too much of a germaphobe, but I knew what was up.
Yeah, I'm like, enough. You know what I mean? I joked. I just try to keep the Surgeon General with me at all times. Just like keep washing, keep a few hand sanitizers. I'd like to make a super bug, but I don't want the responsibility of it.
I'll rarely get the sample at the coffee shop. I'm like, and I know you try to pick it up, you touch them all.
That's the word. I always feel bad about it. I'm like, I think I'm just a germaphobe enough that every time as I'm grabbing things, I'm like, God, I hope they are less of a germaphobe than me because I already feel bad. Like, dude, even pulling the cups out, I'm like, oh God. Yeah, soju's a little too sweet. I don't think that's my move in the future. I feel like a lot of our drinks might be sweet, but this is a weird one we found today. Well, I hate to say weird. I never mean it in a bad way. Sure. But grass
This one's foreign and weird.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Sorry.
different from my culture. No.
Welcome to Ohio. We're judging now. I'm kidding. I hopefully give you... I didn't realize that this is honey flavor, it says, too.
Oh, my God.
I've never had grass jelly, so I really don't know what to expect.
That mozzarella is incredible. It's so good.
Yeah. Like I said, you got road snacks for the rest of the trip. Have you been in Cincinnati before? Is this the first time?
I don't think I've been to Cincinnati before.
I feel like the city's all got to kind of run together at a certain point, right?
Yeah, you're just not anywhere long enough. Like for me, if someone said to me, like, what's Cincinnati like? I'll be like, the grocery stores are huge and they have toys and like that's all I'll know about here until I come back.
Oh, and then everybody's just going to get mad that you don't know about the chili. Be warned. What do you think? I just keep seeing it clump up as it goes in. Oh, that's...
Yeah, it's thick. It's not terrible.
Oh, I
like the seaweed, but I like seaweed.
Yeah. That's kind of... I actually think I kind of love this.
If you told me it was good for me, I'd go, great.
Yeah.
If you told me, like, it's not good for you either, I'd be like, okay, well, then why are we doing that?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, it's like a little too sweet. I think I want to try it not honey version. That was the salami from the charcuterie deli, right?
This is the salami with pistachio and lemon.
I'm excited. Let me get a little rip of that. So, for those of you out there, we've got our own. If you've never been to Cincinnati before, we've got our own. Sorry.
Okay.
Take it. You're my assistant today. We've got our own charcuterie deli in the deli, so you can get like fancy. In this case, Italian meats. Oh yeah, you're putting it with the egg.
Yeah, why not?
Dude, I love you already. Is that a good combo?
Yeah.
Well, let me get one too then.
It just turns everything into a breakfast snack.
Yeah, I'm into it. I'll have the Soresi special.
Uh-huh. There weren't that many. You don't have like a prepared food section.
We have a few things throughout the store, but it's like, yeah, for the most part, we're trying to get back up to it in the butcher shop. A lot of it, you're coming in at an interesting time for us because I think I told you before, we're about to hit our 50th anniversary. So a lot of people that have been here for, 40, 30 plus years, whatever, that have been working the company, they're starting to age out and retire too. So we have a lot of people retiring right now. So like, we're in this like interesting turnaround time of, hey, oh my gosh. An old friend of mine I haven't seen in a long time. That's always so funny. It's like eating in a fishbowl. That guy eats a lot of sandwiches. But where's it going? Oh, no. So we're in that interesting transitional period. So you're getting like people, I joked that I was like one of the first new guard. And so you're seeing a lot of people that are like, well, you met Cheese Tim today. Tim had been here for a long time, but now he took over Cheese to be the expert there. We're bringing in somebody, a Lee that runs our cooking school. She's about to retire, so we brought in a young new person to run that. It's a cool time. So I think you're going to see not that you're constantly coming back to Cincinnati.
I'll come back, sure.
Dude, I'll feed you anytime you're here, buddy. Seriously. It's been an absolute pleasure today, by the way. Thank you so much.
So this is the super expensive one, right?
Yes, that's, I think she said it was $120 a pound.
Wow.
I hope you hate it. Oh, wow. The grass jelly at the bottom. I just got the actual
there's
chunks.
some at the bottom? I'll keep drinking then. I'll get to the end.
I was just pouring out. I was like, that's an interesting shape.
Did Todd Berry do the show?
No. I didn't. I honestly didn't see the ad for him coming in until the day of. And I was like, yeah, what if I told you were the first real comedian to do
really?
this? Yeah.
Wow.
I reach out to everybody I love, and I totally get it. I never mean this in a bad way.
Oh, sure.
I imagine you're all, I saw what it was like for you just in the drive up here. I was like, bro, I can't even believe you saw my notification. Sure. So thank you again. And I imagine that's the case for a lot of people.
You're somewhere for a day. You just land. You want to work out, but like,
I'd like to do the opposite of working out here.
but this was so cool.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that too.
Oh, okay. So we should do that octopus, I guess. I'm saving the fruit for the end.
Yeah. Yeah, the ham's pretty good. I don't know if that's my lane. I think I just in general.
Yeah.
I feel like I like ham, but I think I like bad ham. I think it's all everything.
You like
you know
bad
what
ham?
I mean? I'm like, yeah, could you make this like a salty or worse product? Boil it in the shape of a ham. Then it'll hit for me. Those are the in-house ones. So those are
good.
Marinated and done in-house as well. I don't know what the base olive was, but we'll find out. We'll have an olive episode soon, I'm sure.
Wow. That's good.
Yep. Here we go. As a casual olive hater, I'll find out.
All right. Olives are specific.
Actually, those go pretty hard. Yeah. I like that. It muted enough of like the brininess. That works for me. Let's see here. You said you wanted to go octopus next, like the.
Let's do it. I'm not excited about it, but
me neither. Actually, I was sort of surprised you were so gung ho for it.
Wow, this is jelly. It's like boba.
I think it's literally like a pressed wheat. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cornstarch, Masona procumbens. I don't even know what that is. Some of these words are definitely made up. Carbonate anhydrous. I think the honey might be the problem in that, to be honest with you. I think if this was not sweet, I think I would 100% believe it was healthy for me.
It's really made in America. We just don't have that many drinks with particles in them. I like when I was a kid, I liked no pulp orange juice, and then I don't know what happens. You get older, and I love pulp. Give me so much pulp.
You watch Sopranos one time.
Yeah, pulp, coconut with pieces of coconut in it. Give it every time.
Yeah,
without the coconut, I'm like, why? Why would you do this?
Right, it's suntan lotion until I can taste the chunks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so for those of you watching out there, too, we've got a huge conserva section, so we picked these up. These are from Spain, hand-packed in Spain, it says. Octopus in Spanish olive oil. Not really sure what to expect. I'm new to the conservas game, but I got real into sardines this year.
When you say conservas, that's any canned?
I think that is any canned seafood. At least that's how it was told to me through the subreddit.
Sure.
So if they're wrong, I am by
It's just
proxy
hard.
not.
The smell is so...
it's already got a little Funko.
I just remember feeding my stepdad's cat, and like the smell of opening that can and its juice and its smell, it's so repugnant.
I'm actually not. This one looks too real for me. This is our alligator conundrum from earlier, actually. That's kind of where I'm at with this, but I'm a good sport. Regular sardines, though, pretty great. We found, I was telling you in the store, but I'll tell this for everybody else too. We found an interesting hack where you can take a plain paper towel, press it into the can so the oil soaks it up like an oil wick, and then if you light the edge of the thing on fire, it'll slowly heat the dish and smoke it. It's delicious. All right, did you get one in?
I am.
I'm going to get a drink too. I think I'm going to hate this. That's fine. I'm 40 and this is where I am in life, like trying to get a drink out. Oh, passion's perfect. Good choice. Thank you, sir. You're going to get to the club tonight. They're like, we've decided to feed you. And it'll be the exact same line.
Sure.
Any fun or weird things ever happen to you on the road? I feel like you're traveling a lot these days if I'm creeping on you properly.
Well, I don't know if this would be too political for this thing. I was very
Be yourself.
I was in North Carolina, and I thought it was I thought we were nearing the end of Trumping in politics.
Right.
I was mistaken, but I went not fully undercover, but undercover enough to a Trump rally.
Oh shit!
2 days before the election, I was like, this thing is coming to an end. I was like, this thing is coming to an end. What is it like? I want to see what this thing is.
Sure.
And everyone was like, oh, be careful. And it was like, it was so much smaller than I thought it would be. And I don't even mean just like there were empty seats or whatever,
right.
But it was like, it was a small event. I was kind of shocked. I went through one level of security.
Yeah.
And again, like I just like had a hat on, and I looked at my shirts. All I had was musical theater shirts. I was like, oh God,
they're gonna know.
I got a jacket and put it over. And it honestly, it was so surreal. First, it was like so delayed, and everyone was tired, and then the moment he got there, people were leaving. We had to leave after 15 minutes because I had to go to my show.
Oh yeah.
And a bunch of people were leaving, and I was like, that's why I thought, oh, it's done, because literally the guy who's on your shirt is there in front of you, and they're walking out.
They're like, yeah, okay, cool.
And I truly thought, I was like, oh yeah, it's done. I'm seeing boots on the ground. I'm seeing this thing is over, and that's where I got the most cocky in terms of like, oh, it's done.
Right.
And I was like, how fascinating. I saw like this thing at the end, and it was surreal. It was terrible. It was like not even a good event. Like it really was not. I don't know who it was for.
Sure.
Because he wasn't into it. The people there were tired. It was funny to hear them talk about like how he was going to fix grocery store prices raising while I was buying like jerk chicken for $38. I was like, how about you start with this shit right here, right now?
Right.
And it's just clear like he didn't want to be there.
Weird.
And there was no really coherent point. So it wasn't like for the clip. So I don't even know what it was for. And it was small. But what do I know? He won the state.
That's so wild to me too.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, so okay, but I got to do it anyway.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Oh, I don't even think you made it sound bad enough.
That's like cat food. It feels like I just ate some cat food.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Oh.
Well, it's not for me, but maybe you'll love it out there.
That is really tough.
Lucky we have some conservice for you.
Ooh, baby, that is a tough one.
Ooh, that's not good. Yeah. Well, I'm glad the passion fruit came through nice on this. It's very sweet, but I'll take anything over that.
That's my problem with most like bottled drinks. It's just too sweet.
It's just all sugar.
It's just too sweet, and it's like it's so crazy to think that there was a time when I was a kid where it'd be like, and ever since I took sugar out of my coffee, I drink my coffee black now.
Cool.
And it took a while to get there.
Yeah.
And I wanted it. I also like it hot.
Yeah, of course.
But once you do that
coffee
for real,
only works hot.
Yeah. Oh my God. But once you do it for real, like suddenly these drinks it's like when you have a pixie stick as an adult and you're like, oh God, that's not even good. That's crazy.
It just hurts. Yeah.
It hurts and it hurts and you know it's bad. Okay.
Another one with chunks in it too. Those are coconut, nata de coco, so I think it's like a coconut jelly.
Okay, good.
So, yeah, we'll try that. This is what I was shocked you picked this cotton candy because I was like, I bet he's not picking cotton candy. You were like, ooh, cotton candy.
I like cotton candy gum. Okay. I think like something about fake cotton candy flavor works for me.
Yeah. Well, especially in the right, in the right avenue like this.
That's like watermelon doesn't really work for me. Cherry, I've always hated cherry flavor since I was a kid.
It gets too close to cough syrup. You know what? That doesn't taste as... I thought that what's funny is these are generally... They have like a little real fruit and juice in them, but they're always a little on the sweet side. That one actually worked. This was one I was like, when this flavor came in, I was like, I'm not messing with it. I
like
that.
it.
Yeah, that's good.
I like it a lot.
That's awesome. Gosh. We tried so many things today already. Wow, there's a lot of good stuff. Let's see. Did you rip into any of the sushi yet? How's that going?
Sushi's great.
Cool. Made in-house. Love it.
Let's check out this fruit. Let's start.
Yeah, let's go. We brought in the sugar cane. I really don't know how to eat that, but I think... So you've never tried jackfruit that wasn't like raw, as it were?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've just had it like as a vegan alternative.
Yeah.
And I do like it as a...
I think there's a pit in there, so be careful.
Thank you. Thank God.
Yeah. This always reminds me of... It's like a little... how do I say this nicely? There's probably not a nice way to say it, but I don't mean it shitty. But it tastes like I dropped juicy fruit on the ground.
I get that. That's a good...
You know what I mean? Like there's that little hint of, was that on the bathroom floor?
I like it, though.
Yeah, it is good.
Is it good for you?
I think it is good for you.
I feel like...
If the vegans are eating it, I feel like I probably should be.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
But I can never... Sometimes you think something's good for you. I found out recently, like... I was eating a lot of... I've always been through phases of my life where I thought I was eating healthy, and then it's like, no, that's not actually healthy.
Right.
Like, in college, I ate honey bunches of oats with almonds, and they trick you. It looks... And then some... And I never looked at nutrition labels. I don't care.
Yeah.
But that's like, I might as well have Lucky Charms.
Right.
And then I went through a big phase of like nuts. I was like, I got raw, unsalted nuts, and I would eat a bag of almonds. And then someone was like, you don't know how many calories are in almonds? And it's more like I could have been having a lot more fun.
Right.
And instead I was like forcing myself to eat. It felt like dirt. And I thought like, this is good. This is pure nutrients.
Right. Protein, baby.
And then it's like, no, you just have 6.
Yeah.
Dude, if I have Brazil nuts and dried apples, I could go to fucking town.
Yeah, it sounds good. It's a good
And
combo.
then finally someone they were like, something Google said, never have more than 4 Brazil nuts a day. And I was like,
oh, wow.
4? I had 40.
Right.
40.
While I was reading this article.
All right. I like that jackfruit a lot.
The
That feels
jackfruit
like
was a
good
winner.
jackfruit.
Okay, cool. I'm going to put that in the winner circle over here. What have we not tried? We saw the biltong earlier. I didn't really think the pink pineapple would be fun, but I didn't really think a good carving method. I felt like that will burn up so much show time.
Sure.
But, I mean, whatever.
How do we do
works.
this?
I don't know what to do with the sugar cane. Realistically, I feel like I eat a lot of Vietnamese food, but yeah, that's what I'm guessing. As you're doing that, I'll pretend like I knew by Googling it. You just chew on it. Okay, and then spit out the reed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh wow. You can. So we could have taken the big staff too and just broken pieces off. It said just straight. But
That's
I'm
really
not
good.
trying to bite bark. It is good.
Is that good for you? I chew on that like as a. I chew on things.
Okay. I feel like this is one of those diet tricks where it's like chew on it and then spit it out. But I feel like this is just straight. This gotta just be straight. I bet that's not good for you. Like, not that it's bad for you, but it's like everything else, right? The way I'd like to eat it, terrible. But yeah, you can eat this raw and then. Let's see. Do you eat sugarcane or spit it out? So yes, once you've extracted all of its sweetness, remove the fibrous parts. So if you need some more paper towel, I got you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But that's good. I like that. Like I could, if there was that, if it's good enough that if it was my dessert, if I had like just like 5 pieces of these, I could do that.
I think I was telling you in the store, we had, and we may still have the extractor, but we had like an extractor form. So you literally just feed the full stalk in. And it would compress it and get the juice out.
That sounds really cool.
Dude, it was awesome. And like, yeah, they put like other citrus fruits in there. So it was like, oh, it's got an orange in it. That's got to be good.
Sure. And you said she started her own thing?
She opened a beauty salon.
Oh, not even I thought she did like a...
Yeah, no, it was separate. No. She was like, she told me at one point too, because we would both have fun, colorful hair for a while. She's like, you should come in sometime. I was like, I'd love it. And then I came back from getting hurt and I was like, did she leave?
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're like, oh, yeah, she started her business. And I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Ooh, this blood orange looks...
Oh, yes. I'm so
really
hyped on
good.
that.
Oh, my God.
For the people. I'll hide it. So you did, you mentioned musical theater, so we got to talk about all that stuff.
Please.
And I know we talked a little in the car about our acting gigs and
Yes,
all
yes,
that
we
fun
did.
stuff. Was that your lane? And then I always tell everyone I view my career like a highway because I was a musician for a long time. You know, it's like I've done all these other things. Now I'm grocery podcast guy. You know, but it's like whatever lane open on the highway.
For
hit gas.
BFAs and grocery podcast guy, you'll see. You'll see.
Oh, I'm gonna grift soon enough,
As
dude.
AI
I'm trying to make
takes
money.
over, yeah.
Can you imagine? Remind me to tell you a very scary story about that, actually, with me personally. Speaking of AI, I'll tell it after there. It's that good. Oh, yeah. That's tart. It's delicious.
So tart. So good.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, I just musical theater. It was, it's just like a natural thing in school. Mm-hmm. It just was the big thing. It's the winter or the fall, the winter musical. It was like that's the biggest thing of the whole year.
Yeah,
and I liked it. I like singing. I just like being expressive. I always think about like I always had to talk to a friend just about the fact that like, at least at the time I was a kid, where theater was like where, a lot of gay people would go. And it's like, well, I wasn't there because I was gay, but I was there because we were all like, it was a venue for allowing yourself to express yourself
freely.
And
yeah.
Theater just is like the most convenient American institution to do that. Like, I don't know if there had been a stand-up comedy club, would I have gone to that?
Right.
But theater was just kind of the basket for the kids who needed to just sing or be near it if you were in tech. Yeah. And I still like love parts of musical theater, but I was just never a great singer, and I tried so hard to be. I worked so hard at it. And I always think the difference is like, if you want to be a basketball player and you're 5'4", you're gonna you're faced with the reality of that. At a certain point, you probably can't do it.
Sure.
But with singing, it's like your quote unquote height or your physical abilities, it's hidden in your throat, and you go to teachers, and some days it seems really good and some days it doesn't. And then I think in college, and especially once you leave college, which is why I don't think you should go to college for it, you get hit with like the real world competition.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, oh, these guys can sing, and there's no way they practice harder than me. No way.
Sure.
But they could just sing circles around me.
Sure.
I mean, 8-year-olds who could just destroy me in singing, and you just go, oh, I'm not good enough to do this competitively, and it's a miserable life to be a singer.
Yeah.
So comedy is a little more like you can really like be your own individual thing, and it's no such thing as like the best comedian or whatever.
Right.
There's so many different avenues, but I still love. There's parts of theater that I love, and then there's parts that I hate, and there's a schmaltziness, and like the Broadway scene is very like smiley and kind of in my mind like a bootlickery in a way where it's like, It's like, speaking of politics, it's like when the DNC would get Broadway to perform, and I'm like, this is not helping. This is only hurting.
Right.
This is not getting the young male vote that you want.
This is the Imagine video again.
But I loved it. I started taking voice lessons again just in case.
Oh, that's cool though.
But the idea of being like, unless you're just, God has blessed you with the ability to just. But the fear of cracking and the fear of losing my voice, and it's terrible.
Dude, it's crazy to me to think about, especially like as I watch a lot of like aging rock bands that are doing their, 40th anniversary tour and stuff like that. And I love that stuff. But just hearing even those types of people, how it's like, wow, time has not been that kind to you. And it's like one of the few instruments that you really can lose.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's even just silly things like half of these people, I'm like, can they still sing, but they can't hear? So then you can't, good luck hitting pitch.
Sure.
And like there's so many things that go into that. I feel like I never really get to talk with people much about the vocal thing for that reason.
Oh,
it's you only know once you're in it, and you're like, oh, there's like the way you're seated or standing, and the way you're positioning your body, the way you carry yourself.
And some people could just do it forever, and you go like, I don't know if Bruno Mars has stressful days, but it certainly doesn't seem like it. Just seems like he just fucking
he just shows up,
sits there.
Yeah,
and
you're like, oh, thanks, dude.
And it's just like if you don't have that, it's. I'll see a wedding singer, and I'm sure they. But their voices can just like hit it, and I go, I couldn't.
Right.
I just would go hoarse.
Yeah.
And I did all the practice, I did all the things, I tried, and maybe I could have done it more intelligently or a better teacher. But at the end of the day, I go, I think there's just some the size of my tongue and the size of this and the whatever. All right, this is the
alligator jerky.
This is we're hitting the point in the middle where it's like now it doesn't make any sense at all.
No, of course. That's the whole store, dude.
The alligator jerky after the fruit. That's good.
Yeah, pretty good. Not super flavorful outside like the meat itself. Mm-hmm. I kept it thinking it was going to be Cajun flavored.
Sure.
Since I think that's the only place alligators legally
Yeah,
exist. Yeah. Florida, man.
Something about alligator is like seeing that dead alligator. It was a little easier because I just said like that would eat me, like very for sure.
Yeah, it would have at least been at your ankles. It looked like a smaller one.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just thinking about how I'd handle that. Would be the same way I'd handle that 8-year-old singer. Two fists, dude.
Sure.
Me versus the Rizzler. Oh my gosh.
I did a Zoom comedy show during COVID. It was a competition, and they were like, it was like $3,000, and it was that time where none of us were working.
Right.
And it was like that'd be really nice. And there were some old road dogs, older than me.
Yeah.
And look, they got kids.
Yeah.
And they gave the first place to like this 8-year-old who had like a cheese puppet and was, trash.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, this cute kid. And I was like, guys, there are adult men. There are adult men who are hungry.
And
you're giving it to this little rich kid whose parents were able to afford this nice ass cheese puppet. It was so infuriating.
Oh, I would have been so mad too. I watched a lot of Zoom call comedy. Again, a huge supporter of the scene. Like, I get it. I wanted everybody to perform. I forget who said it, but someone was like, the only comic that was working during COVID was Trump.
That's very funny.
But I think about that a lot where I feel like so much is in the feedback, like a feeling that I talked to a local comic I had on the show recently. We're just talking about why comedy thrives in those sorts of spaces. I mean,
sure.
do you think that like having that immediate feedback is crucial to the live performance?
And during Zoom, you just, you'd want to have the mics on.
Yeah.
And you try to listen for the laugh. But it's just different. The musicality is different. There's a delay. But like my tighter jokes, I had a lot of really, because I performed in like shitty rooms, so my jokes had to be just like super clean, sharp, and that really worked on Zoom.
Yeah.
I think it was tough if you like were trying to play around with the music or you were flowing more in a conversational state.
Right.
And there were all sorts of audio issues. But I was able to develop some material on Zoom.
That's awesome.
And then you take it in person and you'd go, I really do. It's just because that's the background of think of it like music.
Right.
And I guess if you were to keep it in the metaphor, you'd be like, Zoom was one instrument. You write the music,
right.
And then you go out in public and you go like, oh fuck, that doesn't work. And,
yeah, exactly.
But sometimes you get some stuff.
Sure.
You just had to try to listen. It was like, it would be like doing a regular show, but the laughs are super muffled and you can't, and they're weird and
delayed. Oh man.
So I would never. Once we got back, there was a time where there was a mix.
Yeah. And
once we got to that mix, I was like, I'm done trying to write new material on Zoom. It's too taxing.
Sure.
But I did a lot. I did a lot of Zoom shows. Corporate, college. I made money.
Good.
But it sucked.
Oh, I can't even imagine. All I can think about is, so by the way, you're drinking, that's called a Spezi. It's from Mezzo Mix. So this is made by Coca-Cola. It's a German product they make.
Oh, yeah?
I love it. It's pretty much Coke with fresh orange juice in it.
With fresh ones? Yeah, it's good.
That's the allegation. So at least, or I would say, but it tastes like real orange, so I've just always believed them. Weirdly, one of my favorites. They have a few others. Paul Anner makes one too, if you want to look at the can. They make one too that's a little more, a little less sweet, which is also really good. But yeah, we love a Spezi. So you're staying like right next door to a really great, like Swabian style, old timey German restaurant. It's like run by two young cool people.
Really?
Yeah, they're awesome for real. Like if they are not feeding you at the club tonight, which I think the food I haven't eten there, but I think they have like real food at.
Oh, they do?
Yes.
God, I don't even know what my eating schedule is tonight.
Dude, I'm just trying. We're fattening you up, dude. Listen,
I know.
I'm pulling. I have this thing. I'm just taking it on every thin, funny person I know. What was I going to say though? Comedy room. Oh, I just keep thinking of the Zoom comedian Crowdwork guy. That would have been a terrible character to see in any of those rooms. Can you imagine? I hate him already. How do you feel about that whole thing? Can I ask you honest comedy questions like that?
Yeah, I don't care. I think the problem is the conversation's like, it's just skewed because of the internet where like, I post plenty of Crowdwork and I do it because I don't want to burn material sometimes. I do it because I need so much content constantly, and I do it sometimes because I enjoy it.
Yeah,
I enjoy being able to break outside of what I was doing and finding something new, and maybe I get new material, or maybe I just enjoy. It feels like I'm doing improv with a regular person. It's fun.
Yeah.
But because more comics post more Crowdwork clips than not, people will comment on mine, so once in a while they'll go like, ugh, more Crowdwork, or another Crowdwork comedian.
Yeah.
And like, I write a shitload of material, and it's like, that's just the reality though. That's how they feel. They want just jokes. And I want to say to them, the economy just doesn't support it. There could be a different world where I released one special every 2 years or 3 years and it was seen or it really got a shot.
Right.
And that's just not how it works anymore. And like so many things in life, you want to be mad at the person at their job, and you should be mad at the tech overlords who have created this system of digestion, or mad at yourself for indulging in this new system. This is a direct result. Crowdwork has always existed. There's been plenty of comedians who did all crowdwork before. I remember them before these clips existed.
Yeah.
So I get it, and I think like ultimately, some comedians you might not want to see because they all do crowdwork, and I certainly do. Some comedians worried, all this crowdwork, everyone's going to expect crowdwork,
right?
And I don't think that's necessarily true. I think if I do a show and I don't do any kind of crowd work at all, a handful of audience members go, oh, we thought you were going to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But they still have fun, hopefully.
Good, yeah.
And I just think comedy has always suffered from a matter of categorization, because we're not like music where we're big enough to really be like, come to Edgelord night at Laughing Crack.
That's at the mothership, right?
Yeah, that's at the mothership. Well, but exactly. Ultimately, you go, I go to the mothership if I want that.
Right.
And in a way, it's like, well, that's just the genre. I think the problem with that is you get a lot of like mediocre things that try to just meet the genre, as opposed to, once again, I think stand-up has to be organic in a way that other art forms don't always have. You don't feel it as much.
Yeah.
So if I was performing in the mothership, which I think I've talked too much shit about Joe Rogan to get there now, who knows? Who knows? I could get just added to a show one day.
But this clip's gonna pop off. He's calling you.
I would know what to. I would certainly know, and I wouldn't like go. I wouldn't go like, all right, here we go, slur time.
Yeah.
I would do. But I think that is like, if you go to the mothership, that's what you get. But if you go to the Comedy Cellar, it's not quite clear what the genre would be, and you do get a mix.
It feels like depending on who's on the lineup that night will dictate, which I think is kind of how it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah, but the Cellar, like, they've cultivated it's a club. It's a club.
Yeah.
And so the jokes are going to be tighter. It's going to be a little bit more dense. It's going to be pop, 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 pop. You're not going to get so many storytellers at the Cellar.
Right.
And yeah, so that's, I forget where we started this, but Crowdwork. I think maybe we'll get to a point where people have to either do more research in who they go to see, or comedians have to be more defined. Hey, I'm doing no crowd work on the early show, crowd work on the late.
Right.
But ultimately, I don't even control. I do crowd work. I don't really seek it out. I kind of look for opportunities. And if no opportunities present themselves, or if you're in a space that does not lend itself to crowd work.
Yeah.
Some spaces, it's like it's really deep, and you can't, you talk too far away, it's weird, they're too far. You talk too close, and everyone in the back goes, what the fuck's going on?
Right.
And yeah, but ultimately, I defend a comedian's need to do it to literally make it in today's marketplace. I enjoy it as well.
Right.
But we also need to, and we need to post, and I lean towards posting more than not, but it's also because it's worked for me.
Right.
And because I don't like letting things go to waste. And
it's unfortunately the key to success now. A little bit, you know what I mean? You have to be visible.
Sure,
you have to be posting and creating all the time, right?
And some people don't, and some people have their own model, and some people they're more in the zeitgeist, or they have a TV show, so they don't need to be promoting themselves that much.
Right.
I got to promote myself every day, and that's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
And I hope that I'm doing crowd work that is an extension of my own voice and of my own opinion. But I also think and I hope to just, you develop a reputation with your audience of being like, don't worry, I'm not gonna, if you hate crowd work, I'm not gonna harass you.
Yeah, right.
And I'm not, I try to be, I don't try to be like nice and goody two shoes, but I try not to be an asshole in the different ways. I'm never gonna go there and make fun of someone's appearance. Partially, this is just not how my mind operates, honestly. But yeah, I always defend crowd work, and I think people like freaking out a bit. I'm like, you're mad at the wrong things.
Right.
You sound like an old man yelling at the clouds because sorry, that's just the world. People aren't watching our specials very much anymore, or you have to be at a certain level. And you know.
There was a whole debacle with like a local comedy award here a year or two ago, and one of my comedian buddies was just like, comedy, it's not 1982. You don't, like, comedy can exist in so many spaces. You know, look at the way podcasts have become popular. Look at sketch comedy, improv. I mean, there's just a billion avenues for it now versus, 40 years ago where it was really just like, work this dingy club, hope for the best.
I think the legitimate complaint is that there's a lot of bad stand-up comedy. And
of course.
Take Crowdwork aside from it. I'll put up my stand-up next to anyone's stand-up.
Sure.
And I think it's got a fair shot. And I do crowd work on the side, and I work really hard. There's plenty of comedians though who do a lot of crowd work, and their jokes are hacky, or their stand-up is just not good.
Sure.
My girlfriend recently told me, because I shit talk a lot. I'm opinionated, especially on my art.
And I think that's, look, hold on, before we get in there, I think this is one of the things I was hoping to capture too, is that like so much of this is audience expectation, two ways though, right? Where I could see people being like, I hate crowd work, and then you go and do it. They're like, oh, you also only did jokes, right? Like, and I feel like the audience, it's for something else we talked about was the same way where it's a singing thing where it's like you don't really know what goes into this until you try to do it, right? So anyway, I'm sorry to jump in there that way.
I think because sometimes I'll like make fun of Matt Rife or whatever, and then there's other comedians that I go like, oh, they suck, or this product is shit.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my girlfriend post the election how I profess some of my like political opinions, or I go like, oh, I think this is lame that you have the running guy on your podcast and you don't ask him about Epstein, who he was friends with.
Dude, I love that clip so much.
Appreciate
I was
it.
like, it's a great clip.
But I think like what she said, and I said to her, like, I do have this fear where I go, especially in light of him winning, where I go like, man, am I a fucking moron? Am I a fucking moron that I'm never going to be on like the shows that maybe will become like the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, where you have to do that show to get into the comedy scene? And her point was like, no, you got to be true to yourself. She said the one thing I think you maybe could skip out on is calling out every piece of art that you don't think is good on the comedy side, because the thing that you care about is kind of the morality or the political or the point of view. And if I'm going to be strong there, I don't need to be an open wound and fucking just shit all over everybody.
Sure.
And if I'm going to have fewer allies or more people upset at me, what's more important? I mean, I can't be somebody who just shits on everybody. We unfortunately, we don't live in a world where we can be that isolated.
Yeah,
that's not how the world works.
Right.
But she was saying like, look, if you're gonna do that thing, here's maybe a thing where like you don't need to talk about your peer who you think their work is hacky.
Yeah.
Unless it reaches a point that I feel like I have to. But she was just trying to like put into perspective, what do I care about?
Right.
And if something is not that important, do I have to be, out there talking shit about everything? I have to work with these people.
Right.
Whether it's in a random show or just on we're writing for something together or we're cast together.
Sure.
And you have to balance that with your own beliefs and how do you stand up and not capitulate. And
yeah,
I think I will be navigating that heavily.
Yeah, I think that's the future right now. I mean,
and we all, we can't, I think I'm convinced more and more just like you can't just not interact at all.
Right.
You have to figure out how you're interacting.
Yeah, it's like how isolationist can you be in this space, but also still afford yourself some of the opportunities to continue doing it the way that you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. I always think about this. I had a lucky thing as my career started going better. And I was like some event, and it was just me and another person. I don't even remember who the person was now, but I remember one of my friends reaching out to me. This was years ago, and she was just like, it's crazy you had to be in a room with this person. And I was like, here we go. Where I was like, dude, I'm just doing my job, and I just have to shake hands with people sometimes. And almost it's like she could read my mind. She's like, but I get it though. That's where your career is going. You're going to probably have to meet a lot of people who you don't align with, who you don't agree with. And the gig for you is probably, I mean, she didn't say this for both, but she was like, the gig for you is probably going to be how do you navigate people that you even if you just don't like them. You know what I mean?
So how did Chris D'Elia do on the show?
Not as well as you'd think though, but he did have a group of high school girls here.
Sure.
Actually, one of my, if this is I guess we're good then to go on this. One of the times I was at the store, he showed up, okay, and he did it. He did his set, and like I was kind of aware of him, and I didn't like hate it, but I didn't love it. But he was one of those people where I was just like, oh, you got like pretty privilege, and that's how this is coming through, right? And at the time, dude, no joke, me and my buddy Mike are sitting there and we see there's like a table of, to us, we're like, they're young girls, but I just assumed they were like 21, right? Because I'm like, at this time, I'm like 30 something. I was like, okay, they're just youngish. Ari Shaffir gets up right after him and he's like, oh, is this what it's like being handsome? You get your pick of every high school girl in Hollywood? And I was like, oh my God. And then to have it all open up years later, I was like, damn, did Ari know that? Kind of a thing. It was crazy. Yeah. And I think about that moment pretty often. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Can you imagine? I wonder what he would eat.
What he would eat?
Wait, you know what I mean? That's really that was all this was. I'm just doing like social research. I'm just like, all right.
He'd eat the baby bananas and say, no, they're regular bananas. They're a baby.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, how old? Yeah. Oh, 16, man,
What do we?
We have a good amount left still too.
The cheese?
We have some cheese. We have the mascarpone, the espresso mascarpone.
I think we should do the cheese and then end with that volcano candy.
Let's do. That sounds great. Cool. Let's get here. I'll pass the dip to you. I'll open the cookies if you want to handle that part. Yeah, I'm not popular enough. I can say all the mean things about everybody because they're not responding to me yet. Oh, these are cute though. Little secret butthole cookies.
Great.
We love it. Here, I'll pass you the cookies.
Thank you.
I mean, we're all friends here. Now that we're best friends, you can just dip right in. Is that as good as Tim said?
Yeah, I mean, it's not even cheese. It's because you described it like cream cheese, right? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty insane.
I love the espresso comes through at once more and less than I thought.
Yeah.
Because I do get that cheesy note in there. That's great.
That's really good.
That's better than cream cheese, honestly.
Yeah.
Go from the unbitten side.
Oh, man.
Keep that friendship strong. Damn, that is good.
That's nuts. That's really good.
The last one we have here is lemon baked ricotta. I feel like that will be good on the cookie too.
Sure,
I'm gonna give you that. I will grab a plate to put that on just so we can like actually cut it up a little bit. We're about done, by the way. What time is it? Thank you. Hell yeah, dude. We should rip a can. Nope, fuck, we use a fork. Hell yeah.
How far are we from the place?
About like 20-ish, 30 probably.
Cool.
The traffic maybe, I'd have to say 30 to be safe. Cool. So I figured that way we'll wrap this up and we'll get you out of here.
That's good.
Yeah. Thanks again for taking the time to do this.
No, happy to do it.
If you're ever in town, I will do whatever we can for you. So make your list of requests. Now I owe you one.
And I feel like, is this cheesecake? This feels like this is like a hair away from whatever cheesecake is.
I'm kind of thinking that might be the case too. I was leaning towards the pistachio, so I'm glad we got it in the form of salami today.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Great.
I'm just going to use a spoon. Fuck it. Lemon ricotta from the cheese shop. Thanks again, Tim.
Thank you, Tim. I mean, it's cake. It's delicious.
It's like cheesecake, yeah.
That's really good.
Sorry, the buzzing and whatever that was in the background. I was like, oh shit, this is how he died. That's why I keep the cardboard cutout of me up here, because I'm just like, well, if anything gets, I felt like if somebody comes in here aggressively, they're going for the greeter first, then me second. So if I keep the cardboard cutout, I'm hoping he gets shot.
Sure.
Then the lemon flavor comes through weird at the end.
Yeah.
It actually has like a weird kind of, I don't know how I would describe it. I don't want to say like alcohol-y, but like I also don't want to say lemon pledge. But it does taste a little like countertop in a good way, in a pleasing way.
I think you should do an episode where everything you go like, I don't taste it, and then you find out you have COVID at the very end.
I'm in.
Back then, that's all you knew. So every time I thought I had COVID, this is when I'm like alone in my apartment for months. You're just like smelling the coffee, and you're like, okay, I think I'm okay.
Yeah. That was the worst part of it too. I was so worried. So like a weird thing. So I was like paralyzed in my youth. I've been handicapped ever since.
Oh, wow.
And so funny enough, I got the thing I got called Guillain-Barré syndrome. That got like a glow up during COVID because everybody was getting it because of COVID.
Really?
And like full nervous system paralysis, all kinds of fun, terrible things.
Wow.
I'm sure it was terrifying to my parents. Where was I going with this? Oh, so, during COVID, you hear the vaccines gearing up. And then they're like, I'm going to my doctor and they're just like, you probably need to wait because it's a live vaccine. And, well, you weren't supposed to get Guillain-Barré from one 30 years ago. Or from a vaccine years ago, maybe wait on this. So for me, it was like this terrifying thing. Now, at the time, I was producing mostly out of my house.
Yeah.
It was before I worked here. So my first time really in the public outside of like a couple of concerts that I was like hiding at was this job. And I just remember being like, oh, we do like 120,000 people a week through the store. Bring on death, baby. And I made it for a long. I honestly was good. I made it like almost a whole year before finally getting it. It was like 2022. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, oh, because I'm like, oh, I have all the other problems. I was like, oh, well, just really being fat. That was really the only one. I was like, this is just it. This is it. Come on, is it? One of the things my viewers will find out is that I don't know how to open packages properly. That's
I'd be stressed to constantly open things
God, all the time. And they're never right. And all the international bags open the opposite way U.S. bags do.
Oh, yeah?
What the fuck? Oh my God, I did the dumbest thing ever.
What?
I used the octopus fork to poke a hole.
Oh my God.
Cool. Well, if you ever want to know what a strawberry octopus tasted like,
hey,
you don't want to know.
That's good to me.
That is amazing. Oh my gosh, what a delicious
meal
lineup today. Yeah, seriously. What did you think? It was a weird place, right?
I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah. I really appreciate you stopping in, truly. I know it was out of the way and all that stuff, so thanks,
I had a blast.
Good.
Thank you.
Likewise. No, thank you. Thank you for helping me get other comedians to say yes to this show. You will see this.
I can't wait to get the text messages.
Oh my God.
Should I do this?
And you'll be like, no, that guy's fucking obnoxious.
Yeah. Oh, no. I'll tell him.
It took everything not to wear my outfit that matches the wall today. We had clothes made and everything. I was like, don't do it, dude. Don't be cool the first date. So, no, Gianmarco. Well, I mean, obviously, you should plug everything. Where can everybody follow you?
Yeah, I got a podcast called The Downside with Gianmarco Soresi. Check out The Downside every week. Get your podcast. And just find me online. I'm touring around the country. Gianmarco Soresi spelled with a G. And Downside tour. See me live.
Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure. Everyone, thanks so much for tuning into the show. I appreciate your support and watching along. Hey, if you listen to this on the audio platform, we'd love to have you watch along on YouTube with us so you can see what we're doing. On Thursday nights here at Jungle Gyms, we have a cigar and bourbon night over at the Oscar Station. It's one of our many event spaces on campus. As it were, it's a great time. You can try out all kinds of cigars, from something really affordable to something really fancy too. All kinds of bourbons. And I always like to make sure that everybody knows about Jungle's really fun bourbon carousel made out of an old dry cleaning rack. It's so much fun. Don't touch it. They'll move it for you. All right, folks. In the meantime, thanks so much for tuning in. We got Sandwiches of History coming up next. In the meantime, I'll see you out there in the aisles. The Jungle Gyms podcast is recorded in the WJJI studio inside Jungle Gyms International Market in Fairfield, Ohio. The Jungle Gyms podcast is produced and hosted by Mark Borison.